Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, friends, we were studying Parinibbānasutta. This sutta is very long, okay? This teaching is very long. This is about Buddha's final days, but it has a lot of information. So I will share as more as I can, and I will continue when I get the chance. It's okay, because this is very important teaching where there are a lot of summaries in the teachings. There are many instructions sharing by the Buddha in briefly, but in this discussion, we are trying to explain, like we are trying to study it one by one. Last week, we studied about, what is the topic last week? The benefits of ethical conduct. Now, what?
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yes.
What are the benefits of ethical conduct? Can you name few? What are the benefits of virtue? We studied that in detail. Maybe in the Zoom, my friends.
Yes, Bante.
Yeah.
Diligence and to achieve great wealth.
Okay. And what is the second one?
Getting good reputation.
Yes.
And then there are lots of self-confidence.
Yes.
And then if die not feeling lost in feeling and
Yes.
reborn in higher realm.
Okay, very good. How many were there?
5.
Yes, 5 benefits of ethical conduct.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yes. To whom Buddha taught this? Do you remember? To whom Buddha taught this teaching about the benefits and drawbacks of unethical conduct and benefits of ethical conduct? To whom?
To the villagers in Patali village?
For the monks?
No.
No, to the villagers, yeah.
Villagers.
Like the people in the village of Patali.
Patali.
Yeah, do you remember that place, Patali?
Patna.
Yeah, Patna, yes. Then Buddha taught this for the householders, because the Buddha expected from the householders that they would live according to the ethical conduct, that they can achieve the peace of mind whenever they need. So this develops a kind of a peace in mind. When someone practices this restraint over some of the actions, Buddha said that they don't have regret, so that will develop their peace of mind. So it becomes more easier to meditate later. Sometimes when some of the Bhantes teach the Dhamma, they start by giving the 5 precepts. Even in meditations, there are some elder Bhantes, before they teach the meditation, they ask the participants to start observing the 5 precepts. Why? Because it is immediate. When a person have no regrets, their mind will be happy. Then their mind can bring to one point. This should be trained, but as we go, we can easily concentrate. That's what the Buddha taught in this teaching also. Do you remember that Buddha said when a person has fulfillment in their ethics, it's so easy for them to develop concentration, and then with the concentration, they develop wisdom. Do you remember that teaching? Yes. Okay. Now, even in the Eightfold Path, if you look at the Eightfold Path, right view, what are the 8 factors in the Eightfold Path? Right view. Next, what comes? Yeah, right intention,
right speech,
right speech,
right action,
right action, right livelihood.
livelihood,
Next,
life effort, right effort,
yes, you see, right effort, right concentration. Yeah,
mindfulness.
right concentration comes after the virtue, you see. So later it develops 2 more. What are they? When you develop Eightfold Path, what will develop later? What happened to you when you develop Eightfold Path?
Cessation of suffering.
Yes, you become an enlightened being,
Yes.
to be easy to understand. So Eightfold Path is to raise to the
Enlightened.
enlightenment. So this, even that practice is organized according to the virtue, according to the concentration, and according to the wisdom. So the starting point, what I'm trying to say is the starting point to the meditations is the ethical conduct. So if someone has difficulty to concentrate, or even when they concentrated, if they were to lose that peace of mind, that's because of their weakness in observing their actions. Okay? So then one need to be very mindful about what they speak, what they do by their actions. For what reason? To free from regret. Because there is always a regret in ourselves if our actions were not right. So to escape from that, we need to be very mindful about what we speak, what we do. Okay, that's why Buddha started by sharing the virtue. And this was taught to the householders. Okay, ethical conduct. Please remember that. And now there is a story part after this. Now at that time, the Magadhan ministers, Sunida and Vassakara, were building a citadel at Partali village to keep the Vajjis out. So the Vajjis was another group of people. They were going to invade. So the Magadhan ministers, Magadhan means a country, I mean like it's a place in India, a city, like a province. We can say it is like, it was said in the teachings as a country, but it's more like a province. Magadhan ministers, Sunida and Vasakara, were building a citadel. What is citadel? Huh?
A fortress.
Let's say the Pali word, Nagaram. Citadel means here Nagaram. Nagaram means, yeah, it is a fortress together with a palace inside. Okay. Citadel at Partili village to keep the Vajjis out. So they were making that, maybe they are like protecting their fortress. They are making fortress more powerful by building walls and like putting the soldiers, because they know that in the near future these Vajjis will gonna invade us. Partali means Patna. At that time, thousands of deities were taking possession of building sites in Partali village. When they were making the fortress, he said that some of the deities possessed all those places, building sites. Illustrious rulers or royal ministers inclined to build houses at sites possessed by illustrious deities. He said that I don't have a lot of information about this. What I can say is that he said that in the teachings, like when a person is making a building, when it is very like attractive, beautiful, So these places will be possessed by the gods, like the deities. Even it's said that in the traditional teachings, like the commentaries, that the deities are inhabited to the forests and also to the trees, some giant trees, and sometimes to the lakes and to like such places. So when a person is building a beautiful mansion, it's said that these deities come to those places and they make their mansion close by. Middling rulers or royal ministers inclined to build houses at sites possessed by middling deities, and there are some other deities, bit more, less than the other powerful deities, and they used to possess middling rulers or royal ministers. Okay? Lesser rulers or royal ministers are inclined to build houses at sites possessed by lesser deities. With clairvoyance, that is purified and superhuman, the Buddha saw those deities taking possession of building sites in Patali village. Through the Buddha's meditation, it said that he saw that there are some other beings like the deities and they are possessing to these places. Okay? The Buddha rose at the crack of dawn and addressed Ananda. Ananda, who is building a citadel at Patali village? Sir, the Magadhan ministers Sunida and Vasakara are building a citadel to keep the Vajjis out. It's as if they were building the citadel in consultation with gods of the 33. He said that they were like making this kind of a beautiful place by talking with these gods of the 33. It's a heaven. Tavatinsa means a heavenly realm. Buddha says, oh, it's more like they were talked to these devas in the Tavatinsa heaven, and they were making this kind of a beautiful place. With clairvoyance that is purified and superhuman, I saw those deities taking possession of building sites. So the Buddha said that I saw these deities were taking possession to all those places. Okay. Illustrious rulers or royal ministers inclined to build houses at sites possessed by illustrious deities, like so on the rest of the things that already we read. Middling rulers or royal ministers inclined to build houses at sites possessed by middling deities. Lesser rulers or royal ministers inclined to build houses at sites possessed by lesser deities. As far as the civilized region extends, as far as the trading zone extends, this will be the chief city. The Patali Trade Center. Buddha said that. Buddha said that this place will be a very powerful place. It will be a trade center. But Pataliputra will face 3 threats. Even though they were starting building this and there are deities possessing to these places, but this place will be under threats of 3 things. From fire, flood, and dissension. Mittu Bheda. Betrayal. Mittu Bheda. So this place will be like destroyed maybe because of the fire, or it can be because of the flood, or it can be the same people living together will like deceive them. Mittu Bheda, dissension. Then the Magadhan ministers Sunida and Vasakara approached the Buddha and exchanged greetings with him. You see, Buddha already knew about how this place will gonna be like destroyed, and this face into these threats. Buddha already know about that, but it's so hard, like how a person like can be seen by the appearance. Sometimes people might carry like evil intentions, but no one can know what people think, what people do. Yeah, maybe like more than the fire and flood. Mittu Bheda. Dissension is very powerful. Then the Magadhan ministers Sunida and Vassakara approached the Buddha and exchanged greetings with him. When the greetings and polite conversation were over, they stood to one side and said, so these two ministers came to the Buddha, would the worthy Gautama, together with the mendicant Sangha, please accept today's meal from me? The Buddha consented with silence. Then, knowing that the Buddha had consented, they went to their own guest house, where they had delicious, fresh and cooked food prepared. Then they had the Buddha informed of the time, saying, it's time, worthy Gautama, the meal is ready. So it's a kind of like a famous practice, like in that time, in that era, in that country, like people are doing these things because they believed that the people lived in those times who are especially the ascetics, they used to have kind of like spiritual like growth. So if someone were to offer something to those people, those ascetics, like those practitioners, that can purify their dana, their generosity. It's a kind of a belief that they used to hold. If a person is like offering something to a virtuous person, that this action, like the generosity, has the power to cleanse their activity, to bring up, literally, which means it will bring them good karma. Okay, so practicing dana is bringing good karma. That's the literal meaning. If a person were to practice generosity, they are developing good karma. But especially if a person were to offer that to a virtuous person, or else to an enlightened person, or a successful spiritually grown person, that action is much more powerful. And even when it comes to the teachings, you can see that in the other suttas, that some of the people, only by practicing generosity, was reborn in the heavenly realms. So when it comes to those deities, the stories about those deities and gods, it's said to be in Buddhism that they reborn in those places because they conducted generosity. Somewhere in their lives, they practice generosity, they practice giving and sharing, and that's what brought them kind of such a like heavenly like happiness. Okay. Then the Buddha robed up in the morning and taking his bowl and robe went to their guest house together with the mendicant Sangha, where he sat on the seat spread out. Then Sunida and Vassakara served and satisfied the mendicant Sangha, headed by the Buddha with their own hands with delicious, fresh and cooked foods. So they used to offer this food to the Buddha by expecting the merits. Like merit means another word to the good karma. When the Buddha had eaten and washed his hands and bowl, Sunida and Vassakara took a low seat and sat to one side. So they sat to one side, expecting a delivery of a Dhamma. Like normally, after Buddha had his meal, normally Buddha shares a Dhamma talk to make the people more happy. So it said that the generosity start with the, what do you think? Is it start with the positive mind or negative mind? If a person think about giving and sharing, or let's say in our day-to-day life, if we were to share something with another person, is it because of like, why do we do that? Is it led by the happy mind or a sad mind? What happens if we do that with the happy mind? Sad mind? What happens if we do that with the sad mind? How about if we do that with a happy mind? Like it will be very successful. Even if we were to make a food, if we do that with the happy mind. I shared sometimes like how to make food with the happy mind. Do you remember? In some of the discussions, we talked about those, like how can we make food with happy mind? Like you think, what do you think? What can you think during that moment? Let's say you make a tea, I shared. Yes, when you stir, you practice loving kindness. Whoever receive this tea, be healthy. May this person live long, be happy, live in comfort. May this person live with ease. So what happens when we grow these positive thoughts during that making the food and like making the tea? What happens to our heart? Yeah, we feel happy. We feel happy. We feel inspired by doing that action because we were like growing positive thoughts inside even while we are doing that thing, like that activity. So it said that when a person is starting to think about a sharing, is starting to think about practicing generosity, they were doing with these loving, kindful thoughts. Led by the loving, kindful thoughts, led by the positive thoughts, the person starts to do this. Okay? Sometimes we might do it because it's our work. We might do it because, let's say I'm a cook, so I might have to make this every day, make the food, and I share with others because I'm a cook. But I can use this technique, this growing positive thoughts, even while doing that, even while doing the work. So Buddha say it is sammaditthi if you were to believe that there are benefits of doing good actions. Even if a person were to do good action by making food, even as a possession, like even as his own job, they can do it converting that to a like a good action, like generosity. It doesn't mean like you need to give this after you are cooking this, you say to the boss, oh, I don't need money because I'm doing this because I need positive thoughts. No, even if it is for an income, if a person is clever to convert those things because of the positive thoughts, it still brings the benefits, still brings the good karma. So, led by the positive thoughts, we practice generosity. When these two individuals asked the Buddha to come to visit the Buddha, they did that. It's understood in the teachings that it is because they had positive thoughts. They started their action. Even when we like help another person, it's because of our positive thoughts. Okay? It's a simple thing. Maybe it looks very complicated. Like, why do you need that in the teachings? Because it's a simple act of kindness. We used to do these things. But it's because everything like which is good are inside the teachings. So Buddha speaks about these things. He said that if there are any beautiful words, I remember Buddha said, if there are any beautiful words, which means words that is enlightening, it is inside the teachings. It is in the Dhamma. So Dhamma means that our discussions, like when we share the Dhamma, when you share me the Dhamma teachings, when I share you the Dhamma teachings, these are actually the good words, like the positive words. Even if a person is wise, that person can use these simple things to let go their worries, let go their sadnesses, let go their like whatever they have in their heart, like suffering. Like, one day I remember a gentleman said to me, like, Bhante, I have shared, as I remember, 1,000 meals to the Mahasangha. Over the years, he counted. He was like collecting, writing down everything. And he said, I'm very happy because I offered like 1,000 meals to the Mahasangha. There are many monks in Sri Lanka, and some of the monasteries has like 100 monks in one place. So he was going everywhere and he's sharing. I remember there was another person who actually he had an accident, he was passed away, but he used to do a lot of good things. Like once I remember he offered robes to entire monks in all the monasteries, like for 800 monks. He offered robes. He brought them from India and then he prepared it by himself. He's a very wealthy person in Sri Lanka, but he was murdered by another person because of whatever the reason. So, but yeah, like he was very happy when he was doing these things. So he shared the robes. It's very normal thing when he shared the food with others. Sometimes he go to the house, like the homeless people, and he share foods. And when sometimes he go to the children houses, like people, like special children. So they share all these, like he shared all these things while he was alive. So it's a good thing, like because he did all these things with a happy mind. So this practice is like the generosity is a very good practice we can use to let go the tiredness of the heart. We have tiredness in the heart, our mind goes everywhere. But if we can rejoice, oh, in that day, in that moment, I did this, I did that, I shared this with another. Even with the jobs, like when we work, oh, I helped these people, I helped that person, this person. Okay? When the Buddha had eaten and washed his hand and bowl, Sunida and Vasakara took a low seat and sat to one side. The Buddha expressed his appreciation with these verses. In the place he makes his dwelling, having fed the astute and the virtuous here, the restrained spiritual practitioners, he should dedicate an offering to the deities there. Okay, this is the place where Buddha is spoken about merit sharing. He should dedicate an offering to the deities there. Venerated, they venerate him. Honored, they honor him. Said that if we were to cultivate that good action, it remains in us as a good karma. We say it as in English, we can say it is merit. So we can share these merits with the unhuman beings. Buddha said there can be other unhuman beings, like especially the deities. You share that with them. How do you share that? We just simply make a positive thought, because thought carries energy. The thought has very powerful energy. Like if we were to think, because everything we did in the outside, from making a lot of like big buildings up until to the doing other act of kindful things, we started all of this from one single thought. So the thought has a big power, a good energy. Said that when we make a positive thought by thinking, whatever that I did in the past as a good, like the generosity, whoever there are in the other places, may they rejoice in that. If there are deities or whoever, may they rejoice in those things. So it said that venerated, they venerate him, the one who shared the merit. Honored, they honor him. So they will be, like it said that in the teachings, they will be guarded and protected by these unhuman beings. Because they know that we are receiving this merit as long as this person is doing these good things. So it's better that I will protect these people. So yeah, there is such a relationship in a human being and a deity in the Buddhism, like classical Buddhism, like the suttas has this information. After that, they have sympathy for him, like a mother for the child at her breast. A man beloved of the deities always sees nice things. So he said that for to be easy to uh, live, to be protected, and even to make beautiful buildings. These beings are helping. These deities are helping. Okay? Always says nice things, because there is a relationship with the unhuman beings, with this person, through the generosity. what are the benefits of practicing loving kindness? Do you remember that? There's a special one related to this talk. Can you remind me? Among the benefits of loving kindness, it says that the one who do loving kindness, something related to this. Yeah, it said that the non-human beings will protect that person. So when I'm sharing about loving kindness, I normally say that it's because the teaching says that this positive mind can be observed by the unhuman beings. Our consciousness can be observed by the unhuman beings. So when a person were to have good thoughts, like loving kindness, they used to see those people and they immediately come to protect them when someone is in danger. When the Buddha had expressed his appreciation to Sunita and Vasakara with these verses, he got up from his seat and left. Sunita and Vasakara followed behind the Buddha thinking, maybe they know already. The gate through which the ascetic Gautama exists today shall be named the Gautama Gate, Gautama Dwara. He said that even today that place is known as Gautama Dwara. In where is it? Patna, yeah. Patna. Yeah. No, but yeah, you can find it because my teacher Bhante taught us that still the place is called Gautama Dwara. But this place is Patna, yes. The place is Patna. But some of the mountains, still today we use these same words, like Gijjakuta, Pandava. So these places still has the same name. The ford at which he crosses the Ganges River shall be named Gautama Ford. I don't think the Ganges River still has this name. Then the gate through which the Buddha existed was named the Gautama Gate, because they know that this is the last time Buddha passes through all these cities. He's heading to the Kushinagar where Buddha passed away. He lying down for the very last time. Then the Buddha came to the Ganges River. Now at that time, the Ganges was full to the brim, so a crow could drink from it. So the Ganges River was filled. Wanting to cross from the near to the far shore, some people were seeking a boat. What is this? Dinghy. Oh, is it a boat? Let's say what is the Pali word? Apekache manusa navam pariyesanti apekache olumpam pariyesanti apekache kullam. Kullam means the raft.
They click on the word Ulumpang, maybe.
What? Raft?
Not that. Go, yeah.
It's still the raft, okay. It's still the raft. So some people were making these while some were tying up a raft. But as easily as a strong person would extend or contract their arm, the Buddha, together with the mendicant Sangha, vanished from the near shore and landed on the far shore. He saw all those humans wanting to cross over. Knowing the meaning of this, on that occasion, the Buddha expressed this heartfelt sentiment. Those who cross a deluge or stream have built a bridge and left the marshes behind, while some people are still tying a raft. Intelligent people have crossed over. So he said that with the psychic power, Buddha crossed it, but still the people were making the raft. So Buddha said these verses after seeing this. The first recitation section. So that was ended, the first part of the sutta. Okay. Today we talked about the generosity and merit sharing. About that two topics, if you have questions or thoughts, you can share with me right now. We are heading to a very difficult topic next, the talk on noble truths. If my friends have something about the teachings that we learned so far, you can share with me, or you can ask for any other information, or else we can go to the next part.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo
Sai
Buddhaya.
Bhante.
Yes.
Regarding merit sharing, should it be done in words, or is a thought enough?
It's first the thought. This person asked about the merit sharing. Should you speak or should you make a thought? Is the word thought enough? Actually, the thought is enough, because the thought is the starting point. We make that thought, we make that positive thought. But when we use it in our speech, that's even more powerful, because it was started by the thought. Normally in our tradition, normally when someone shares their food, we normally remember about, well, they say that our this and this person, our mother, grandmother, or whoever in our life has passed away, we would like to share this merit that we accumulated by sharing this food with the Sangha, with the Bhantes, to this person. So normally the Bhantes say in words the person's name. This grandmother or someone may rejoice in this merit, wherever this person is. So it said that by that speech, it's even more powerful, so that transfers to this person, if that person is somewhere that we don't see. Even though someone is passed away in our life, they are not going away. They normally live around us. So when we can think also the thought. Sometimes we silently think, even if sometimes people say that their relative is in the hospital, would Bhante be able to share us a blessing? So normally we go to the stupa and we share a light to that person, to the Buddha, and then think, whoever, like this person, maybe in Sri Lanka or any other country, receive this power of this good thought, and may that person rejoice in this blessing. May this merit be shared with that person. He said that this person receives that, because there is a sutta one day. Yeah, does that answer the question?
My Savinansa, many merits.
Hari. So, the story is, one day there was a friend of Ananda Bhante, and the Ananda Bhante really wanted this friend to follow the Dhamma. But this friend is not happy about the teachings. He said, oh, what monks, what recluses, what ascetics, I don't want to go to the monastery. So the Ananda Bhante is in his household life, he was Bhante's one of a friend. Now this Bhante really wanted him to, you see, the Ananda Bhante is the attendant to the Supreme Buddha. So his friend is not following the Dhamma. So the Ananda Bhante had a lot of knowledge about the Dhamma, but it's so hard for him, Ananda Bhante, to bring this person to the teachings. His name was Roja Malle. So the Ananda Bhante said to the Buddha, Buddha, so I'm really compassionate about this person. I don't want to see him in a bad situation. I don't want to make him to go in a bad direction. Please, Bhante, can we help? So one day it said that, if I remember correctly, the Buddha went to a village. This Ananda Bhante sent a message to the friend, please come, because Buddha is in your village. So this person came to that place. And I think Ananda Bhante asked him, I'm very happy because you came to this place to see the Buddha. Now Buddha is going to give the teaching. So this person, Rojamala, said, Oh, I didn't come to see the Buddha. I came because the government said that if you don't go, you will be fined. That's the reason why I came here. So the Ananda Bhante said to the Buddha, you know, Buddha, this is my one of my friend. He's very stubborn. He doesn't like any teachings, but he has a very kind heart, I think. So what we can do? So he said that Buddha went to his room, sat down on Buddha's bed, and started spreading loving kindness, focused to the Rojamalla, to this person. Buddha's enormous, deep compassion was focused to the Rojamalla, to this friend. Like magnifying glass, we hold under the sun, and then it has big power. He was thinking, may this person be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. Buddha was doing this over and over again. Can you imagine how much power in Buddhist compassion? It's big power. But Buddha didn't say by the words because he was in his room. The Rojamal is in somewhere in a crowd place. But it said that immediately this Rojamalla felt some kind of a gentle feeling, kind of a love towards the Buddha. And he was like occupied with deep, deep joy, deep, deep love only towards the Buddha. And he thought, oh, where is the Buddha? He was changed. Where is the Buddha? Where is my Buddha? He said, where is my Buddha? Where is my Buddha? And he started to run, finding the Buddha. Where is he living now? Where is my Buddha? Where is my Buddha? It is on suttas, you can find. Where is he? Then he said that he ran towards with so much affection and love and devotion and faith to the Buddha, finding him. And he entered to the room. He knocked the door and entered to the room. And he started to bow down in the Buddha's feet and touched the Buddha's feet and started to say very humbly, oh, my name is Rojamalla, Supreme Buddha, my name is Rojamalla. So he was changed. So by that story, I kind of realized, oh, this might be the kind of merit sharing, even we don't see it. I don't know how far the science explain this because it's merely observation, but there can be a conscious power in us to the others that they can see it. I'm not in a hurry to say that it's telepathy because I don't know much about that. But because of these gentle qualities that we grow, that can be touched by the others. Yeah. Sometimes I have found some people also used to do loving, kindful thoughts to one individual. And they found out that they were changed. They were changing because of their loving kindness. So then, Ananda Bhante was very, very happy. Maybe as I remember, he became an extreme mentor. But he was blocked by his own stubbornness. Okay? So that's kind of merit sharing. We make the positive thought, so the other unhuman beings feels that. Okay?
Amazing, Bhante. Apramanakin.
Okay. Yeah, Dhamma is for try to yourself. It's not to believe blindly because this was said by the Buddha, I will believe. But this is to be experiment. I remember another Bhante was teaching a teaching about that. This person, the Bhante says that he taught to a person to practice loving kindness to the boss. And he said that the boss was very gentle later. Yeah?
Yes, now Buddha Bhante. Yeah, so I was thinking of the question, but then Bhante, you related the story. It's kind of related because my question is, we don't know, let's say our parents after they pass,
Yeah.
We were told that after they pass, immediately they were reborn, right? But we don't know where they are reborn into. Now, if they're reborn as human beings again, and then we want to share our merits to them, so they are humans. So our merits that we are sharing to them, they get the benefits, and that could be the reason why, let's say, they get some blessings and they became much better. Loving kindness, right? So because we always thought that, let's say, if anybody passes and they were reborn in a bad destination, now sharing merits will help. But then in this case, reborn into human, how will that affect? Thank you, Bante.
Yeah, for the humans, the merit can be something to be happy, to rejoice, and to make them feel happy by seeing it. Let's say, for an example, you say that, I conducted this generosity that day. So whoever the human being hears about this, that human being will be happy.
No, yeah, Bante. So I'm saying our relatives who pass away,
Yes.
and they're reborn, let's say, into another human being that we do not know, but then we share our blessing to our relative, so they will eventually also get the blessings.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yes, and okay. So very similar to your story, to the story, I guess. Thank you,
But
Bante.
sometimes people think that the merit can be when someone is passed away, the merit can rescue them from where they were reborn in the past life, like in the unhuman beings. Let's say there are some unhuman beings called pretas. Who are pretas? Pretas? Ghost?
Oh,
Just the ghosts exist? What?
okay.
Hungry ghosts, yeah.
Oh,
Pretas are hungry ghosts. So the hungry ghosts said to be can take the merit, but the merit cannot survive them to escape them from that birthplace. The hungry ghost, let's say we share the merit with our hungry ghost, whoever, like this person will be happy with their the happiness. It's said that the hungry ghosts are hungry. They don't have food or water for a long time, but they don't die. Why? Because they were consuming a bad karma they did in human life. So up until that they faced this karma, they will be there. Like the Preta world, like that realm is said to be a place where no food, no water, no shelter, only hunger, thirst. But they don't die. Like we are also in human life are spending here as a consuming a good merit we did in previous life. To so same with the hungry ghosts. Sometimes when people going through the bad things, I must say this, when someone going through the bad things, they choose to harm themselves. Sometimes they poison themselves. Sometimes to suicide, they take like so many bad things like poison, and sometimes they hang. It's said that after this person die and abandon the human life, even in the next life, they have the same pain that they were struggling at the last moment. Like let's say someone was poisoned because they wanted to cut off their life, then in the next life also they are going through that pain forever. Like if it could be like 50 or like 100 years with the pain. It's said that still the rope is in their neck when they die in the Preta world. So people sometimes see that it as a relief, but it's never such a thing. So they reborn and they suffer even more. That's because that's if they reborn among the Pretas, among the hungry ghosts, but they mostly go to the even more lower places. So anyway, so when a person were to share the merit, this person can rejoice, but it won't rescue them from that ghost world. Okay? So he won't release them from the ghost world. So from this, what we need to understand is the nature of the samsara. Okay, sometimes there are people who are not very happy about the merits. Let's say that I'm not very happy about giving and sharing, so I will die, and I will go to reborn in the Petas. So someone of our relative will share us the merit, but I cannot rejoice. Why? Because even here I was not very happy about these good actions like giving and sharing. There are such human beings. People say, why do you want to give? Why do you want to share? You take only for yourself. Like you're happy about yourself and collect as much as you can. So sometimes people say and hold such a views. But for that person, if that person dies and reborn in another place, so we were to share constantly the merits, they won't be happy. They don't find any inspiration by that. So it's very important to have the right view about these things. At least, in the samsara, we might be able to rejoice in these actions. Okay? Normally, the transaction declines when such a person shares the merit to another person. The merit won't go. The merit won't go. It will return. Yeah. Anyway, little bit of like traditional teachings for you today. Okay. Yes.
If that person doesn't have more merit, no matter how much we share or have loving kindness towards them, there won't be really decline because he doesn't have enough to gain what he gives.
Yes, only one category of Petas can take the merits. Yeah. Yeah. So, loving kindness, yeah.
But you know, or really poor, right? So if everybody gets together and spreads loving kindness towards things,
Yeah. Yes.
he might not change something.
Yes. I don't know why. What I do normally is do extensive loving kindness, like increasing loving kindness more, probably.
Which will benefit us, but
Yeah.
will not benefit that other person.
But did you get this question? Why? So then when we were in sadness, the deities won't look at us. Are we ugly? Are we evil? Why they don't care about us? What? No, because I think, yeah, we need higher like attainments, like higher loving kindnesses, like even more powerful good qualities. That even that it can transcend to the other heavenly realms. Because it said that in another story that there was a Bhante in a forest. He said that the Bhante was doing loving kindness for 3 months constantly. 3 months. Only loving kindness meditation. He was only in the forest. He was going to the alms round in the morning and collect some food and return to the forest. And in a cave, he was doing loving kindness. May I be free for manga, may I be free for ill will, every day, straight to 3 months. Now, at the end of the rains retreat, we say that rains retreat, like 3 months, he was like sweeping the ground and closing the cave door and then like bending the bed and cleaning that place. He said that he heard someone is crying. The Bhante heard someone is crying, but he didn't see. So he looked here and there in the forest, someone is crying. And then he asked, who is crying? And then said, oh, I am the deity in this tree. There was a big tree. So I have my mansion in this tree. I'm a deity in here. So then the Bhante asked, why are you crying? So the deity said, I'm crying because Bhante is going to leave. Why do you cry when I'm going to leave? Because Bhante, you were doing loving kindness. There were a lot of demons and the violent beings in this forest. They were fighting with each other. There are such another beings called asuras. They were said to be the jealous gods, they were fighting with each other. And he said that they were receiving and rejoicing your loving kindness. They received your loving kindness, so they ended all the violent things. They ended fighting with each other. So they were living gently because of your loving kindness that you did for 3 months. Now, I'm very sad because now Bandar is going to leave. So there will not be any way that the other beings will rejoice in that. So that's why I'm crying. He said that the Bhante stayed there for the next 3 months also. And again, when Bhante is going to go back, again the deity cried. And again the Bhante stayed. He said that this way, up until this Bhante became an enlightened being, he was stayed in that forest. So he became enlightened in that forest, only doing loving kindness, loving kindness meditation. Okay.
Okay. Bhante mentioned there's only one Peta that can receive the
Vipasita.
yes. Is it in any sutta?
That's on Mirinda questions, and also in commentaries.
I believe that.
Yeah, Mirinda Prashna has a big explanation about those Petas. He said that one day the 4 monks saw these ghosts. He said that those ghosts' belly is very big, but their head is very small. They have very small hole in top of their head. So they were crying by saying we were very thirsty. You see the karma. That's because of the dependent origination. Yeah, dependent origination created such a life. That's a karma. So they have very little hole that they can receive the food or water. The Bhantes is said to be that enlightened Bhantes used to pour so much water all day long, pouring water over and over again. Those are called Kukpipasita. And they couldn't, so the Petas said, so even like a little drop, just a little drop touched into our thirst by doing that constant pouring the water. So which means that it's not easy for them to take this water. Yeah. For those who practice generosity, he said that who give and share will never go without any food or water. Like he said that the ones who are practicing generosity, anywhere they are going in the samsara, will never be lost with the food and the water. They will receive that. So normally if someone were to ask a water, we normally take the water from the tap and okay, here you go. But it's a very good opportunity for us to think. So by this good action, may this person release from the thirst. By doing such a quality, like doing such a thought, it won't bring us pain. That thought bring us definitely a good benefit. So we won't go without water. Because we were growing that in our heart, in our consciousness. It's all about karma. Okay? Okay, friends. We studied a lot of things today. So let's share the merits we accumulated by listening to the Dhamma. We collected enormous merits. May all the divinely beings, deities, gods, rejoice in our good action. May they be happy, and may they soon able to attain their perfect bliss of mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And whoever in our lives who passed away, may they rejoice in these merits. By the power of this merit, may they soon be able to attain the perfect bliss of their mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may my teacher Bhante and all the other Bhantes rejoices in these merits. By the power of this merit, may all the Bhantes be able to attain the perfect bliss of their mind. So, and by the power of this merit, may you also, both in Zoom and also in person, rejoice in these merits. By the power of this merit, may every one of you be able to attain the perfect bliss of your mind. So, thank you so much for joining with me. May you be well and happy. Supateva.